Top 10 Deadliest Natural Disasters in History. Every year, some of the deadliest natural disasters, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, hurricanes, tsunamis, on average kill nearly 60,000 people, according to Global Change Data Lab. Violent natural disasters have been a fact of human life since the beginning of mankind. But the death counts of the most ancient of these disasters are lost to history. The ancient Mediterranean island of Thera experienced a catastrophic volcanic eruption that eradicated the entire Minoan civilization around 1600 BC. But exactly how many lives were lost? We'll never know. However, thanks to historical records and journals, historians can at least estimate the number of fatalities linked to disasters that occurred in the Common Era. According to such records, the following natural disasters are the deadliest of all time, ranked from lowest to highest estimated death toll. In this video, we'll share with you 10 of the most horrible natural disasters. Before we start, please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more interesting and informative videos. Let's get started. 10. Aleppo Earthquake 1138. On October 11, 1138, the ground under the Syrian city of Aleppo began to shake. The city sits on the confluence of the Arabian and African plates, making it prone to tremblers, but this one was particularly violent. The magnitude of the quake is lost to time. But contemporary chroniclers reported that the city's citadel collapsed and houses crumbled across Aleppo. The resulting death toll is estimated at around 230,000, but that figure comes from the 15th century. And the historian who reported it may have conflated the Aleppo quake with one that occurred in what is now the modern-day Eurasian country of Georgia. Still, this supposed death toll ties this event as the 10th most deadly natural disaster of all time. 9. The 2004 Indian Ocean Earthquake and Tsunami. It is a catastrophic magnitude 9.1 earthquake that struck undersea off the west coast of Sumatra, Indonesia, on December 26, 2004. The quake created a massive tsunami that killed approximately 230,000, and displaced nearly 2 million people in 14 South Asian and East African countries. Traveling as fast as 500 miles per hour, 804 kilometers per hour, the tsunami reached land in as little as 15 to 20 minutes after the quake hit. It gave residents little time to flee to higher ground. In some places, especially hardest hit Indonesia, the tsunami wave reached over 100 feet, 30 meters, high, according to World Vision. Damages from the earthquake and tsunami are estimated at $10 billion. This event is considered the third largest earthquake in the world since 1900. And its tsunami has killed more people than any other tsunami in recorded history, according to NOAA. 8. Tangshan Earthquake 1976. At 3:42 a.m. on July 28, 1976, the Chinese city of Tangshan was razed to the ground by a magnitude 7.8 earthquake, according to a report by the U.S. Geological Survey, USGS. Tangshan, an industrial city with a population of about 1 million at the time of the disaster, suffered staggering casualties of over 240,000. While this was the official death toll, some experts suggest this number is grossly underestimated and that the loss of life was likely closer to 700,000. Reportedly, 85% of Tangshan's buildings collapsed, and trembles were felt in Beijing, China, more than 100 miles, 180 kilometers, away. It took several years before the city of Tangshan was rebuilt to its prior glory. 7. Antioch Earthquake 526. As with all disasters occurring millennia ago, a precise death toll for the Antioch earthquake is hard to come by. Contemporary chronicler John Malalas wrote at the time that about 250,000 people died when the temblor hit the Byzantine Empire city in May 526. Malalas attributed the disaster to the wrath of God and reported that fires destroyed everything in Antioch that the earthquake did not. According to a 2007 paper in the Medieval History Journal, the death toll was higher than it would have been at other times of the year. The reason for that is the city was full of tourists celebrating Ascension Day, the Christian feast that commemorates Jesus' ascension into heaven. 6. Haiyuan earthquake 1920. The Haiyuan earthquake was the largest quake recorded in China in the 20th century with the highest magnitude and intensity, said Deng Kedong, a geologist with the Chinese Academy of Sciences. The earthquake, which struck north-central China's Haiyuan County on December 16, 1920, also rocked the neighboring Gansu and Shaanxi provinces. It was reportedly a 7.8 on the Richter scale. However, China Today claims it was of magnitude 8.5. There are also discrepancies in the number of lives lost. The USGS reported total casualties of 200,000. But according to a 2010 study by Chinese seismologists, the death toll could have been as high as 273,400. The region's high deposits of loess soils triggered massive landslides which were responsible for over 30,000 of these deaths, according to a 2020 study published in the journal Landslides. 5. Koringa Cyclone 1839. The Koringa cyclone made landfall at the port city of Koringa on India's Bay of Bengal on November 25, 1839, whipping up a storm surge of 40 feet, 12 meters, according to NOAA's Atlantic Oceanographic and Meteorological Laboratory Hurricane Research Division. The hurricane's wind speeds and category are not known, as is the case for many storms that took place before the 20th century. About 20,000 ships and vessels were destroyed, along with the lives of an estimated 300,000 people. 4. Haiti earthquake 2010. The catastrophic magnitude 7.0 earthquake that struck Haiti just northwest of Port-au-Prince on January 12, 2010. It is ranked as one of the 3 deadliest quakes of all time. Haiti's standing as one of the poorest countries in the Western Hemisphere, and its limited history of large earthquakes left it extremely vulnerable to damages and loss of life. As many as 3 million people were affected by the quake. Death toll estimates were all over the place. Initially, the government of Haiti estimated fatalities stood at 230,000 people, but in January 2011, officials revised that figure to 316,000. A 2010 study published in the journal Medicine, Conflict and Survival put the number at around 160,000 deaths, while the USGS claimed even lower numbers, around 100,000. These disparities reflect the difficulty of counting deaths even in the modern era. Not to mention the political wrangling that goes on over official numbers. 3. Bola cyclone 1970. This tropical cyclone hit what is now Bangladesh on November 12–13, 1970. According to NOAA's Hurricane Research Division, the storm's strongest wind speeds measured 130 miles per hour, making it the equivalent of a Category 4 major hurricane on the Saffir-Simpson hurricane scale. Ahead of its landfall, a 35-foot, 10.6 meters, storm surge washed over the low-lying islands bordering the Bay of Bengal, causing widespread flooding. The storm surge, combined with a lack of evacuation, resulted in a massive death toll estimated at 300,000 to 500,000 people. A 1971 report from the National Hurricane Center and the Pakistan Meteorological Department acknowledged the challenge of accurately estimating the death toll, especially due to the influx of seasonal workers who were in the area for the rice harvest. The Bola cyclone is considered the deadliest tropical cyclone on record, according to the World Meteorological Organization, and it caused an estimated $86 billion in damages. 2. Yellow River flood 1887. The Yellow River, Huanghe, in China was precariously situated far above most of the land around it in the late 1880s. It happened because of series of dikes built to contain the river as it flowed through the farmland of central China. Over time, these dikes had silted up, gradually lifting the river in elevation. When heavy rains swelled the river in September 1887, it spilled over these dikes into the surrounding low-lying land, inundating 5,000 square miles, according to Encyclopedia of Disasters. As a result of this flood, an estimated 900,000 to 2 million people lost their lives. 1. Yangtze River floods 1931. Excessive rainfall over central China in July and August of 1931 triggered the most deadly natural disaster in world history, the Central China floods of 1931. The Yangtze River overtopped its banks as spring snowmelt mingled with the over 24 inches, 600 millimeters, of rain that fell during the month of July alone. The Yellow River and other large waterways also reached high levels. According to The Nature of Disaster in China, the 1931 Yangtze River floods inundated almost 70,000 square miles and turned the Yangtze into what looked like a giant lake or ocean. Contemporary government numbers put the number of dead at around 2 million. But other agencies, including NOAA, say it may have been as many as 3.7 million people. Hope you liked the content of the video. Please give it a thumbs up and comment down your views. Don't forget to share the video. Thank you very much.